Hi guys, it's Cassie from Faodail Creation, and in this video I'm going to show you how to attach a button and to make a buttonhole on your item. This is what the two foot attachments look like. This one here is for making the buttonholes, and this foot here is the foot you're going to use to attach your button. This is how you place the button on to create the buttonhole. So we're going to place our button on. We're going to make sure that we line up the first two holes first, and we're going to make sure they line up with the two red dots. This shank that I'm moving left and right here, this is to make the stitch tighter and looser, and I'll show you the difference later. So first off, we're going to get our buttonhole making foot, and we're going to place the foot on with the button facing to the rear of your machine. We're going to lift up our presser foot. We're going to line up the foot and we're going to lower the shank. Now we're going to grab the grey buttonhole lever and we're going to pull it down as far as it will go. The distance between the two guides measures the button exactly, so it knows how big to make the buttonhole. You're going to select the correct buttonhole for your project. For my example, I'm going to use 78. Press the utility stitch button and then enter 78. When making a buttonhole, the machine is going to start at this point here. Now it's going to work from the left hand side first, then it's going to work back, and then it's going to go to the right hand side, then work back, and it's going to stop. I generally do this twice. Try not to touch the fabric, there's no need to, just let it do its thing. Now to open your buttonhole, you're going to use a seam ripper, and then you're just going to open it up. And to stop your fabric from fraying, you can use a product called Fray Check, and you can dab it around the edges and it's going to stop your fabric from fraying. Now we're going to attach a button, so now we're going to lift up that grey lever because we don't need it anymore. We're going to need to lower the feed dogs. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the machine around to the back, and you see this switch here. You're going to move it over, and you're going to see that your feed dogs have now lowered. Your Baby Lock Soprano is taking the guesswork out of attaching a button. So you're now going to select stitch 90. It's basically a zigzag stitch, so if you don't have a baby lock and you're watching this video, it should be set on a 3.5 I think it is, but you might just want to test it out before the possibility of breaking a needle. Let's look at foot M a little more closely, and if you see this slider right here, it's going to help you to create a looser and a tighter stitch. So I'm going to show you both the examples. So let's have a look. So we're going to place our button in, and it's always wise to sew the first two holes first. Line the two holes with the two red dots, and the slider that we're playing with before, the slider is going to be slid straight towards the button. Now place the foot on and just make sure that your button hasn't moved. Just double check that. Now you're ready, press the accelerator, and it's going to create the stitches to attach your first two buttonholes. And we're going to do the same for the back too. Now, let's see the difference that it makes to the stitches when we move that slider towards the back of the button. Now, do you see the difference? That little slider hasn't come out, so it now creates a more tighter stitch on the button. Now here's the first button I did. Now you can tell it's so much looser than the second one that I'm going to show you in a second. So the slider extended out and it was able to make the stitch a lot looser than the second one. So let's have a look at the second example. So this was the second button and you can see it's much tighter because that slider wasn't extended out, so it wasn't having to bounce over it. So it was literally, you can also use that product that I mentioned before, which is Free Check, on your buttons. It helps to stop them from falling off and keeps them much more secure. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and also hit the subscribe button. I post new videos every single Wednesday, and also post a comment below. Let me know if you would like to see any additional videos, if you have any comments, any suggestions. I would be very happy to read them. So until next week, thank you very much for watching. Bye.